So this is the Contradictions of Trish. Now, I actually have a video. You could just look up, like, Papa Gut Contradictions of Trish or something like that. And I watched up to here. So there's a lot here. I don't know if Mama Gut can suffer through this much absolutely obnoxious Trisha Paytas bullshit. So,
I don't know.
So we're going to start from the backwards. This is a really good TikTok site, though. It's called Contradictions of Trish. I mean, it's very simple. It's a good website because they categorize the contradictions of Trish. Hot take. Anyway, we're gonna start from like the top and read down. We watched a little bit of this one. No, that's the one where they just do the whatever. But we're gonna watch a few of them. Let's just fucking watch them. Can you hear it?
Yeah, but I have to like do like this because if I have it on, I can't hear you talk.
Okay, I don't
my
care.
hearing's fucked
See a
up.
sex story.
It's like this thing.
So it's the bottom portion of this lamp.
Yeah.
Like right here, this part. Okay, what happened?
I mean, I just had that at my ass one time and I got stitches from it. I don't think it's like crazy though. Like that's why I can't have the ass. Like I got stitched up. My butthole was like tight. Oh yeah. Did you ever see my video about my bloody butt? The bleeding and I had to get stitched back up. If you don't poop enough, like you're supposed to get a stool softener because I didn't have stool softener and my poop was too hard and it ripped my butt open. I had to get stitches on it. I haven't been having.
What the fuck? What did we just start with?
I'm already tuned out. Just keep going.
Jeez. What the fuck is this?
Rectal bleeding slightly. It's not drops of blood. It was like I would, after releasing stool, I would wipe and there would be just a little blood. And it almost felt like a razor cut in there. But I went to the doctor anyways because you just never know. And I went and I ended up having an tear. And I know a lot of you might think, oh my gosh, too much Trish, but no, I never even had sex in my life. Kind of as the result of that or just genetics. I have a very tiny little.
Let's just go to the next one, please.
What?
Can we just go to the next one?
This was the most insane start. What the fuck? Wait, okay, so I just want to tell you what she's saying real quick. We're gonna move on.
She's talking about all the different ways her butthole got.
No, she's not. She's apparently she originally claimed that they put like a thing up her butt and it ripped her butt, and she has like a trauma from it. But then later it turns out that she had actually just said that she pooped too hard and it hurt her butt. Amazing. An amazing way to start this segment. Wow, incredible. Okay.
I just was like anything to just ask you just to stop because it is such a big.
Look at how this is the clip from that video that we watched the other day. She's just so fake. Like you could hear, like it's very funny. I know this is like related to before, but she's like doing all the right things that she usually does in her videos, but she's not matching the energy. She's just not performing.
We talked about this earlier in the stream. We were talking about how it's almost like she's auditioning. So she's saying the words and the lines, but she's not.
Like her inflection is correct, but her tone is not.
Yeah. Like she knows what she's supposed to say, but she doesn't have the energy to match it. As opposed to when she later talks about Moses, she's like fast talking, everything she needs to say. She's getting upset, she's crying. But when it comes to her being called out on her inaccuracies, on like her claims of Mr. Rhyme, all of a sudden she's like slow. She's just saying things. She's thinking a lot. She's not actually expressing any emotion. It's just like this, like it's like she's reading for an audition or a play, or she's rehearsing, but she doesn't need to do the energy because they're not on stage yet.
Hatred, and it's really dark hatred. It's so scary that the harassment is so scary. I watched the show and you are fucking fake. After we have these conversations, I will go on YouTube and I will fucking talk about you so much and say how much of an asshole you are. And if I watch this back, just know that I have a voice on fucking YouTube.
You like the Among Us music? And
guess what? Your Instagram will have to be shut down. Every boyfriend I've ever had has had to shut their Instagram down from the hate comments. Every single one of them.
I think that this is genuinely her. Did I use that word correctly?
That is genuinely her. Yeah, she's a bitch. She's
and I think
person.
also like her tone of voice was different. That was a very regular talking like
Which one?
Voice of her on Big Brother.
Oh yeah, she was like aggressive. Like she was like aggressive, but like
no, but like she's not talking like this with like her voice high. Like she's just like talking. She's
having
having a casual conversation.
Now I understand what you're saying. That's not even like when Trisha's on. She's like, "Hey guys," and then she has this high voice. But on that, it was like the slow. It was like, I'll fucking end you, bitch. Like that was her response.
And I do still think that like she's putting on a show, but that sounded like that's who she is.
Yeah, like she loves but I don't doubt she loves having an audience and she loves weaponizing it. So
why I've stayed off social media. The reason why is because the past 2 months has been hell. All the hate messages.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Probably someone on Big Brother.
He looks like a guy who works at the pizzeria. Joey. Hey Joey. I don't know.
And the bashing, when none of you even know who I am. I've always been there for Trisha Paytas from day one. I've been there through everything, the ups and downs.
That was your fucking problem, is that you were with Trisha Paytas in general. I don't know who this is. He could be a terrible guy. We don't know if, you know what I'm saying?
With
yeah, I don't know who he is at all.
Blasting our relationship online.
Me and Trisha.
You know who this guy is? So I did a video. I covered a whole video. Trisha. So this guy, when she like first started or around then, he used to follow her and like talk to her on Facebook. Like actually talk. He was a fan of hers.
Is this the man with autism?
Yeah, it's the man with autism. And we went through all the messages, and like he actually commented, I think, later, and we'll see it because we're gonna look through the subreddit later. How does Reddit work? I don't know. Anyway, he was like talking to Trish. She like called him a friend in some capacity. They would talk somewhat regularly. At best, maybe he just said a little too much to her because he's a guy with autism, and sometimes the social cues are difficult. But he wasn't. She called him a stalker. Apparently, she said she was going to vote for Trump, and they gave a bunch of reasons why, and they were horrible reasons that were like people were calling. I haven't seen the video, calling her out for being like anti-immigration and like hating Hispanic people or something like that. That's what I was told. I couldn't find the video, or I would have watched it. I looked for a while, and so she was like, "Oh, I'm getting heat. This guy's a stalker, and he's harming me." And then the people kind of like that was her. Apparently, that was the reason she did that. It was kind of fucked up.
We're friends. I fucking stood by her time and time again. I've had people wish my death. I've had people threaten me. I had people wish death on my mom so she wouldn't have to live with a freak like me for a son.
I was really hurt. I was mortified in front of thousands of people. I was made.
Nick Hato's a fucking mess.
I just want to hear what he was mortified about because I am mortified. But that's another.
But he also looks younger here.
Yeah.
I feel like now he's like a caricature of himself. I talk about it all the time. He used to be like super like. He was like the skinniness.
I think a lot of
the
people
problem.
lose themselves
on social media.
Themselves in the content.
Yeah, like I think that
you're just constantly chasing like who people want you to be to like stay relevant, and you become like a character. I can't say that word.
A caricature
of yourself, and you become an empty shell.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's like, okay, so maybe people liked it when he was a little goofy, so now he's like dialed up the goofiness, and now we're at a point where he's just like pouring pasta sauce on his fucking head, and it's like, damn, man, like, you know what I mean? It's too much. It's but
spreading his cheeks.
we did see his OnlyFans. It's something.
All right,
made fun of. I don't even know why. I don't know what I did to deserve this. This hurt a lot more what I went through with Trisha, and I'm so sick of people asking. All these years later, I'm gonna be real. She's a liar and she's manipulative.
Please, whatever you do, don't let Trisha Paytas know that you know me. The minute she knows that you know me, she's going to find a way to manipulate a situation. She understands the power she has on YouTube. She knows that she can literally destroy someone in her soul with her YouTube channel. I don't want to have any ties with her. She lied about me.
And I got all this hate and all this backlash. That's not true. That is a lie. It just really hurts me because it's a ding in my character. You know what I'm saying? That didn't even happen.
I'm just gonna say, Trisha Paytas, like, you have your own problems. Please stop worrying about mine. Please stop talking about me. You're not a very nice person.
Oh, that's it.
That was dirty. I feel like they should. Oh, that's Trisha's video.
Yeah, no. So I actually covered this a while ago. So that part I covered it on my channel, and that's where I've said some fucking awesome things about Trisha. They were intense. You can go watch. Just look up like Trisha Paytas, Charlie Amelia Papagat on YouTube. You'll probably find it. Basically, what happened is like Charlie they did like a little home podcast, a little home thing. They did like a home video for YouTube. They were testing out like the YouTube audience and whatever. And they made a video and like they kind of basically pranked Charlie and Dixie by making them snails. And Charlie apparently has like an eating disorder. I don't know if it's diagnosed. Who knows? It's fucking TikTok. But she doesn't really like to eat things except for chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese. That's like her thing. And so like it was too much for her. And so people were canceling her for one, not wanting to eat snails, which I mean, who the fuck does? It's so weird. Like, 'cause if you personalize this, it's like if you brought snails into me and you're like, hey, I surprised you, I'd be like, well, actually I might try them.
I absolutely would fucking not.
Yeah.
Keep that shit away from me. And like, I want chicken nuggets and mac and cheese.
It's a staple.
Who doesn't like chicken nuggets and mac and cheese? But for real, keep the snails away from me. And they're all like, oh, like, you girls are disrespectful.
Yeah, like, what?
And like, how dare you disrespect this man who made food for you?
Yeah, the guy that they paid and they were the friend of who was in on the
like,
joke.
Shut up.
Yeah, and like Dixie tried it, but then like she might have been exaggerating when she got up and like spit it out outside. But like whatever, it's for they're being annoying for the show. And then another thing they canceled her for in that episode was she said, "Hey, wouldn't it?" And I swear this is how she said it. She's like, "It would be really cool if I hit 100 million on the anniversary of my 1 million." And they're like, "Wow, she's so entitled." But she was just like, "That would be cool." That was it. It wasn't. There was nothing else there. And I'm like. And what's crazy is everybody was dogging on her, and I don't like to take credit, but like I made a video that blew up, got like 3 or 4 million views on TikTok, and I was like, why the fuck are you guys dogging on this girl? She didn't want fucking snails, and she said it would be cool to be fucking that she had 100 million on the anniversary of her million, and then the social narrative started changing. Now I don't know if I was the one who did it, but all I have to say is I'm the one who did it.
I think that we should watch some of her show before next Sunday.
Who's that?
The D'Amelio show.
Yeah, we should on Hulu. It's probably amazing. All right, let's continue this.
You can't say keep my name out of your mouth when your whole career and livelihood is based on social media.
It's a bit much.
What? Her whole livelihood is, I guess so. Trisha's just such a warped bitch. Whatever.
She said that about Charlie though.
Yeah.
Like you're too bitch. Like
right. Oh,
and
yeah.
you're 33.
That's so funny because she's like, guys, leave me alone. But like Trisha, by your own logic, your whole fucking world is like centralized around being a social media person. So shut up.
Like, you know, shitting on a 16-year-old girl.
First of all, I couldn't care less. Like, I couldn't care less. It's so fun. Avi is such an idiot.
Avi's a great guy. People were sending him death threats and like harassing him.
I get death threats every day. You put yourself online. Don't be on camera. Don't have your own YouTube channel.
She was texting me.
I mean, I feel like listen, I understand that there will be people who will send you death threats. It happens. It happens to me. But like those are individual actors doing that. Trisha like calls for people to be like canceled for no fucking reason. Stinks. You smell like poo girl.
Me already planning her video. She was like, well, I'm gonna post this video. Like I wasn't even done with the relationship.
This constant loop of like, wait a minute, but what about
You don't like Gabby Hanna? I don't care. I think she's kind of cute.
I know you do.
Okay.
this? And it's like seriously.
I like unique faces. I like yours. So
Just
very beautiful. Love you a lot.
I love you too.
I'm sorry. Okay, back to the thing.
He's so fucking intense, dude.
Angry with me on behalf of
She is a bad person, though. I understand.
Trisha, trying to dox me, threatening me, making fun of how I looked. They were talking about how I was a diversity hire at BuzzFeed.
This is a person who I consider.
Holy shit!
That's fucked up.
That is really fucked up.
That's fucked up. Imagine that. What's fucked up is like you're using that like. It like is an insult, but like that's what you're using as your insult. Like that's fucked up.
Oh, you're just a diversity hire. Like what the fuck?
That's fucked up.
Feels a little racism to me. Jesus Christ. Or maybe it's because they were a girl. I don't really know. I wasn't a girl.
That was the person who said that they were writing an article and Trisha was like, don't include my name if it's about Gabby or something.
Right, it was just unrealistic. Yeah.
Trisha trying to dox me, threaten.
It sounds. I don't know. I don't want to. Maybe they're trans. I don't know.
I don't know who it is.
No
but
sorry,
I feel like
sorry for being sensitive. Let's move on.
Me, making fun of how I looked. They were talking about how I was a diversity hire at BuzzFeed.
This is a person who I considered, you know, family, a close friend, someone I trusted. I really feel like she tried to ruin my life.
Please, you guys, stop. It is honestly ruining our family. I please need you guys to stop.
Yes, Ethan is just like, he really, like when an online presence, I know we're all very critical. He seems like such a nice guy. A little soft. I'm a little harder.
He seems rather regular.
Yeah.
Like I think you are rather regular as well.
I feel like I'm a little more blunt and he's a little softer. But not a bad way.
Well, yeah,
like,
but I mean, like, you guys are not, like, you guys are guys doing YouTube. You're not, like, YouTube people.
That's a good point.
You know
like,
what I'm saying?
yeah. Like, he's a dude doing YouTube. He's like a genuine guy. Me too. I just happen to be like a little more blunt, and he's just like, you know, he's nicer than me is what I meant to say. But like Trisha is a YouTube. She like is. Like I actually don't think that her dad is her dad. I think that like a fucking robot YouTube fucked her mom and created Trisha, because there's no way. She is a fucking YouTube social experiment. It's crazy. I think that was intense, sorry.
Stop. I just was like...
Alright, I like the Among Us, the sussy Among Us stuff. Mama Gut's blocking it, but I have an air conditioner that looks like an Among Us character from the popular hit video game Among Us. You want to Show them?
No, just
she doesn't want to
finish
show
this.
you. She doesn't want to show. Okay, fuck you guys then.
I saw TikTok of this amazing artist.
This is the woman they just said shut up.
What was your bad?
We'll watch like 1 or 2 more. I know that you hate Trisha.
Yeah, it's just like it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know?
It's like the same
no
shit
matter
over
what
and
she
over
does,
again.
I always have the same take on it. Again, I think because of my I mean, if I say black and white thinking, I think that sounds negative, but you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Where like she's making all these videos and it's different topics, but it's the same thing happening again and again.
I had the same reaction when I was watching her My Chemical Imbalance bullshit. It was just the same thing. She makes a podcast, she sits there and claims she has a bunch of mental health shit that she's not even educated on, and then she tries to talk shit about Ethan. That's literally her whole platform.
This one though is my favorite because there's a moment in here where you catch her coming up with a lie.
Okay, let's get
This is the one I sent him on TikTok.
Ooh, let's get into it. I didn't watch it, I don't think.
Experience in London. We went over to go see Michael Jackson in London, and it was just a really bad experience in the sense that we never actually got to see Michael Jackson, and we got a tip where he was gonna be, and I wanted to go so bad, and the whole reason we went on the trip, my dad paid for it all, was for me to go see Michael Jackson and hopefully, you know, get to talk to him or have a picture with him. I was so disappointed that I was not allowed to go, and we just ended up sitting in the room for the rest of that day, and we couldn't go see him. The third day was like a Sony like protest thing, and something again that I wanted to go, another reason I want to go over there, and I couldn't go to that either. And then also too, I got to go to London when I was 13. That was the time when Michael was like anti-Sony, and so we got to like see him perform. We went to a tribute show, got a Michael Jackson doll, camped outside his hotel with everyone else. It was really, really cool, and like, yeah, I got to like hug him, and he was awesome. Like, I loved Michael Jackson, and that's why it was so sad for me, like a couple years ago when he died. It like made me so sad, because I absolutely loved Michael Jackson, and those were probably like some of my most memorable moments from childhood. They all had to center around him. And Michael Jackson, I really
Michael
loved.
Jackson used to spend a lot of time sitting out in front of his house.
My dad would drive me up when I'd come out to visit. I would skip school sometimes and come out to California, and my dad would like drive me up to Michael Jackson's house, and we just sat outside.
Can I just talk about like what? How the fuck are you gonna just skip school and your dad's gonna bring you somewhere nice?
Well, okay.
Then their interpretation, like that's nice for them sitting outside of the celebrity's house, but not for fucking me.
Well, no, I mean, like, this story does actually sound perhaps a little realistic. I think, like, her dad does live in, like, LA.
Yeah.
So, like, that makes sense.
No, but, like, why would you... Okay, if my kid skipped school, I wouldn't be like, here's your prize.
I mean, are we surprised that that is not a standard that her family...
My point is that her parents are not good.
Yes.
That's the only point I wanted to make.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't criticizing you.
No, we...
Such nice.
I'm gonna...
Okay.
Ever. One time we met this girl outside the gate too. She was like me. She was just sitting out there with her dad. And my dad got us like a plane to like fly over Michael Jackson's house and like look at it.
That's a little too far.
What did you talk to Michael Jackson about?
The plane?
Yeah, like the sitting in the front of the house. I can imagine that being real, but like the plane to fly over.
You think that wasn't real?
I don't know.
I think it's real because he has a lot of money.
The dad?
That's loaded. He started up his own company. He neglected his children so he could start his own business, and they sold it for like millions of dollars. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
This is the clip where this is where she's lying. Rewind it a little bit.
Okay.
So we can see the full thing.
Yeah.
She's gonna think about
What
what
did you talk to Michael Jackson about?
I just remember I had the moonwalk book and I was with my dad and I just said that I was like in love with him. I was like, I want to marry you. I said that to Michael Jackson and he just asked me to like come into his house. I don't know. I don't want to see it. Nothing weird. Nothing like sexual.
Okay, hold on. So you go, hold on.
I'm a girl.
By the way, you're with your dad. Does he invite both of you back to the house?
Yes.
Okay.
We're like in front of the gate. We're already at the house. We're like parked on the street.
Got it. Okay. Typical.
Could you pause it for a second?
Yeah.
I just also want to point out that she's like, Michael Jackson didn't do anything to me. Like, I was a little girl. So she's like insinuating that like Michael Jackson only molested little boys. And and she's claiming that she's a girl. She could have explored her gender later, but
I understand what you're saying. Jesus Christ.
So he invites the two of you in. Do you walk with him from the gate to the house? Do you drive?
You drive.
You do notice that she makes these like jokes or videos like about how like she wants to lust after her teachers or Michael Jackson or whatever, and then she always makes sure to like be like, but nothing happened, as if like I just feel like that's
like
genuine.
you know what I'm saying, and like what could have happened, but it didn't.
Yeah.
But now, 2021, it will happen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, same thing with Robin Williams too.
How bizarre! Like, what a person to claim that about.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Robin Williams' past. She said she was an escort or something.
No, I'm just saying, like, that I would find to be a very random for this type of thing. If that was his thing, like, whatever.
Yeah, like, if it was his thing, it was his thing. But also, isn't there supposed to be, like, a discretionary thing between, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's not what I'm focused on.
I mean, the man died, and she's like, she hints that she had sex with him. I think it's fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like Robin Williams. Like, that's weird.
No, I know, but it's like to me, it's like a clout. Oh, now that he said, guys, did you know that it's a clout chase? Like, Jesus, like, let the man fucking rest in peace.
You get your pass, you drive.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, my experience was really positive. Like, there was a bunch of kids there.
Okay.
Oh my God.
See what she's doing?
Yeah.
Like, and that, okay, so that.
There may have been.
That,
I don't know.
Clip where she's in the green shirt on that podcast or whatever, I think is so important because if you really pay attention to her, she is figuring out what to say the whole time.
Oh, interesting.
At first, like, he asked her that and she's like, and
Like,
she like
she
goes to the
pauses
side
for a
and it's almost
second.
like she's like, okay, like, what was the last thing I said about it? And then, like, she's leading off of the questions he's asking. She's literally, you look at her, she's figuring out what she's trying to say throughout the whole thing. And what I also think is incredibly stupid about that clip is she is, obviously, we see all these clips saying, like, how important Michael Jackson is to her, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
She's going off and, like, saying all of these things, basically saying that he was touching children.
Yeah.
And
I
like, if
understand
this
that.
person was so important to you in the way that, like, you say it, like, I wouldn't like joke about it or be like, oh my God, did you know like this about him? Like, she was like, oh, like, he didn't, like, I was a girl. Or she was like, there was a lot of children there.
It's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying because it's hard to like differentiate what's real and not because there was a whole thing with Michael Jackson and kids, and I don't know the specifics. You know, I was younger. But like, yeah, we don't know what is and isn't true, and that's I think what she does is like she'll sensationalize the story to make it worse. But yeah, I mean, if he did those things, fuck him.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like the way that she's talking about it with
seemed
the
like she
type
was
of
trying to
fan she's trying to be. Like, that doesn't match for me.
Yeah, she was trying to sensationalize that story to like make it more like, I love this story, like, oh, I'm eating it up, like Trisha Paytas. But then it seemed like she was all over the fucking place. And she's like you said, it seemed like she was trying to think about what to say to make it seem like
She was
more than
figuring
it
out her
was.
story.
Yeah.
Jackson died before I could meet him.
Okay. You fucking idiot. That one is ridiculous.
Like, she's just, and this is what I'm saying. Something like this is so stupid. Like, why does she ever think that people would catch this?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm
nobody
saying?
would until she became like the fucking social pariah for being a scumbag.
Mhm.
It really all started with her being really mean to Ethan, and then
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, like, talking about the, like, assault stuff and whatnot, like, that's the issue. But something just like this video about something so stupid, I think dismisses everything about Trisha. Where, like, you could, like, I could, like, tell someone about what's going on with Trisha right now, and then I'll show them this Michael Jackson video, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, she's not telling the truth.
yeah, because she just
You know what
lies
I'm
about
saying?
everything.
And now I'm being self-conscious about saying that. But, like, you understand
I do
what I'm
understand
getting
what you're
at?
saying. I do. Because somebody said, can you say, let's see if we can watch them
my
all.
entire life, like never wanting to lose weight. Like I've talked to therapists about it. I like having extra weight because it turns off a lot of men, and that's the
Yeah, this is the one I talk about a lot.
truth of it. The only way the molestation stopped when I was a kid was when I started gaining weight. I just kept gaining weight because I thought it would turn men off from me, and I still feel that way.
I gain weight to keep men away from me, but I'm gonna fucking spread every single thing I have online to make them desire me.
Well,
Anyways.
That's the thing, because I know what you're saying. Because people will be like, oh, it's a job sometimes. She's saying that she would gain a lot of weight to turn men off because she didn't like any of the male attention. But then she did create a job around looking for male attention.
Mhm.
Now, it's quite possible that once she's in that job, she could have had like a trauma that would turn her off to men, but make her still feel like she needed to do that job because that's a way that she makes money. But it doesn't really line up for you to be like, I hate male attention, and then get into a job that's exclusively about male attention when you don't need the money originally.
No, and she's enthusiastic,
She
and
doesn't
she's a
need the money.
very. That's the thing as well, is that she is a very sex positive person.
Yeah.
Which I do think that I dare say that may be a positive thing about Trisha.
Yeah,
that she is very sex positive.
Yeah, no, right, exactly. Like she
Um,
could have been the sex positive like chubby girl, and that could have been a really good field for her.
I just find it like she's literally. I understand what she's saying for both things. Just the two thoughts don't go together for me.
Well, I think a big part of it too is that it doesn't go together with her knowing the context of her.
Exactly.
And like for another person, it makes perfect sense. But when it comes to Trisha, or it makes more sense. Anyway, they get the next part of it. She just said that she always tried to gain weight so that people would find her unattractive.
I have so many reasons to just lose some weight. Attention. When I was a child, like I wanted to be anorexic. I wouldn't eat all week. I'd have 2 slim fasts a day. I'd have one in the morning, one at night. That was it. And my teachers were like, "Oh my god, like you're losing so much weight," and it felt fucking phenomenal. Like I felt so cool. I was like, it was everything. I was like, hell yeah. I did these things called water fast. I only drank water for 5 days. Dieting, long-term dieting. You know, binging is that. My binge eating disorder. Taking diet pills at an early age. Anything I can, quick and lose weight fast. I'm being as honest and transparent as I can be.
It's funny because at school I wouldn't eat lunch. And people would think it was so weird. And I did this from middle school all the way through my senior year in high school. My entire life. Like,
you know, I tried to not eat in middle school too. I would just drink a Diet Coke, and my breath always smelled bad. And then one time a girl said, "Hey, do you want a piece of gum?" I was like, "No, thank you." And she's like, "Oh, you need it because your breath stinks." Do you think that Trisha's breath smelled really bad? Is my question.
I don't.
Probably, if she wasn't eating. I feel like if your breath smells because you're like hungry. Like, I can tell when you haven't eaten because I can smell on your breath. Not like a bad way, but you're like your mouth smells like you need to eat.
I didn't know that was a thing until you were talking about it the other day. But it's funny because like I was thinking about like eating lunch in school the other day, and like because remember I told you about that asshole kid in 8th grade, and like getting made fun of and stuff, and like I like never ate at school because like I didn't have money to buy lunch.
Right. Yeah.
And I wanted to buy lunch every day. I didn't want to pack my lunch and bring it, but we couldn't afford buying lunch every day, so I would just wait till I got home to eat. So that's why I skipped lunches in school.
We had the money. My mom did it right for herself. So I don't know why. That's it.
I know we're sharing stories now.
I'm sorry. I was Mr. Moneybags, and I had the money. And
DMB.
You poor, treacherous soul. I don't know.
Daddy Moneybags.
I don't have that much money. Like, you're fucking going crazy here. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's see.
There was one show I was too mentally ill for. They took a test, and
I remember this one.
And I guess because it had to do with celebrities. And we went on simply to get money. It was number 1 hater, and they were looking for number 1 haters, and they had the list of people you could be a hater for. And one of the people was Scott Disick, and it was all booked and everything, but we had to get these tests done beforehand. This was the first time I remember answering this and not knowing that it wasn't normal. I did the test. It was like filling the bubbles, and they called me back, and they're like, "Oh, you filled in the bubble of, you see shapes that aren't there." And I'm like, yeah. And I see animals that aren't there. This was like my first sign.
And I believe this was after. It might not have been, but I remember a while ago you were talking about. It's like, Trisha, what the fuck? You said it to me, and then I started saying it.
Like, Trisha.
She said to me one time in the car. She's like, "What the fuck does it mean to Trisha to like have schizophrenia?" Because she claims she has it. And Trisha has never talked about it. So on the stream one day, I was watching one of her videos, and I'm like, "Trisha, what the fuck does it mean that you have schizophrenia? Like, what does it mean? What do you see? What do you smell?" Even though she said she doesn't have smell schizophrenia, but then she changed that narrative later after somebody else mentioned that they had it. What do you hear? And like all of a sudden, like I believe it was after that, then she's like, "Oh, I see shapes," or blah blah blah. I don't know.
No, but this is, I just like listening to it now. I just had this new thought, and like, because I know what this clip is gonna say when it finishes, is that she had like an enlightenment because they were like, "Oh, you answered it this way, so we can't take you because of these reasons," which is telling me that she filled out this questionnaire before she had any diagnoses that she claims to have. So, bitch, if you weren't diagnosed, how do you know that the shapes and shit that you're seeing aren't there? Dude.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
They're like,
wait, I think you might have blown my mind. Hold on. Oh. Hold on a second. Because it makes sense, but then maybe it doesn't. But like what Mama Gut's saying. What Mama Gut's saying is she's doing a questionnaire for a show, and it asks you, do you see shapes or animals that or see things that aren't there? And she's like, yeah, I see shapes and animals. That they're not there. But if she was schizophrenic,
and like she wasn't diagnosed yet or didn't know,
she would know. She would think that they were there because she wasn't diagnosed yet. This was pre-diagnosis, so
you know, like, right?
That actually makes. Wait, that's so funny. Wait, that's so funny. Wait, okay, somebody said repeat. Okay, so this is what Mama Gut's saying. Trisha said the question was, do you see things that aren't there? And she's like, yeah, I would see triangle or shapes and animals that aren't there. And then Mama Gut, and this was before she said that she was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And then Mama Gut's like, well, to you, having schizophrenia, they would be there. So why do you not perceive them as there? How do you know that they're not there? That's her argument. It makes sense, and it's very funny. Okay. That fucked me up. Okay. Hold on. Let's get this going.
Sign of that where I chalked it up as they all thought I said it, but I said yeah, and they're like, okay, we can't have you on the show, and I was like, what? Wow, okay. So that was like my first sign of like crazy, I guess you could say. I failed an AB.
Can I say before we get to this next part? It's very interesting because I'm not sure if you're allowed to ask people about their mental like diagnoses. So that would be the show asking them if you had like schizophrenia without directly asking. Do you see shapes that aren't there? So people that are diagnosed would say like, yes, I do sometimes see that, and then they would pass on it, but they're not asking if you're schizophrenic, which would be, I would believe, some kind of a. I think it's a violation to ask those questions. Like you're not allowed to ask a lot of questions. Like you can't ask somebody if like they're married, whatnot, when it comes to working and stuff. Very interesting. I just wanted to side note that.
Yes, you could say. I failed an A/B test one time for a reality show. I just randomly did it. I randomly filled out an A/B test for the show we did with Scott Disick, and I failed because I said I saw like shapes or shifts or like something like that, and they like told me I like can't be on the show because I was like mentally insane. But it was randomly filled out. There was.
Okay. You want to do one more? We can try one more. Let's see. These are funny,
Young
actually.
teacher, the subject of schoolgirl fantasy.
What do you think about this?
She wants him so badly.
I have a lot of thoughts, but I feel like they're like inappropriate to say on here.
I feel like this is the one where she talks about how.
Oh, I didn't even make the connection that she was like what she's doing. I was honestly focused on her boobs.
She was talking. This is her video she made about how to seduce a teacher years ago.
You can't have me do things like this. I think that I am me too edgy sometimes for this.
Why? What are you saying?
I'm gonna text it. I'm sorry, this is unfair.
All right.
I have this impending sense of doom, an impending sense of doom that something is always going to be found out about me.
It's a good one,
Dad, though. On social media because I was silenced at my school growing up. I had 3 different incidences with 3 different teachers. The one that I was too scared to speak up on, someone else spoke up years later and he ended up getting arrested. Byron, Illinois. His name was Mr. for looking up CP at school. Look it up.
If you've ever wanted the real Trisha, I am nothing but honest in this book. Nothing illegal happened with my teachers ever. Little naughty Trisha definitely was like into my teachers.
Sabotaging my weight loss my entire life, never wanting to lose weight. I wanted to be anorexic. Recently diagnosed twice as schizophrenic.
That is not what you have.
I'm hearing voices.
I've never seen that.
That's what he said. I was telling you that she's like, I'm schizophrenic, and then doctor's like, you don't have that, and she's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Check. I am in fact not, and a lot of people have been saying that, so like, I have this impending sense of doom. Something is always going to be found out about me.
It's unfortunate because the Mysterious Sea video was pulled. They were both pulled down. Well, one of them was pulled. The second one was pulled down, but the first one has like a lot of like copyright issue. Copyright. It's fucking ridiculous. I think that's it for the contradictions of Trish. Although I had this one clip that I thought was kind of funny. I saw it on Twitter. I wanted to watch this really quick because I thought it was just funny.
Also, I think that's contagious. Whatever your symptom is, where you're, I think I have that now too.
It's not contagious.
What is it?
It's just GERD.
I have GERD, I think now too.
It's not contagious.
I start doing that now too. I'm like,
I don't know why you're doing that, but it's not for me. Oh, that sneeze like injured my throat.
That's contagious. Actually funny. Oh my god! When you were like, "Oh, I have this clip that I think is funny." I'm like, "Yeah, it's probably not funny," and I hope he doesn't like show it to me. This is actually fucking funny,
right?
Oh my god!
It's funny. It's funny. It's like I think I actually have GERD. You know what's funny? Sometimes when I eat food, I go. Because I don't really chew. I breathe through my mouth.
Constantly.
I choke.
He is constantly choking. He literally, it's like always when we're eating, like fried chicken is the worst. You didn't do it last night, so like good job.
Thank you.
But like he fucking chokes on his food.
Macaroni and cheese.
All the goddamn time. Yeah. And he's like, ugh, ugh, and he's like, ugh, and he turns all red. He needs an eating protocol.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was fucking funny.
That's too much.
That,
That was
just
it.
one more
yeah.
time for me.
Okay,
one more
okay,
time.
one more time for you. Okay, one more time.
Also, I think that's contagious. Whatever your symptom is, where you're, I think I have that now too.
It's not contagious.
What is it?
It's just GERD. It's
I
like
have GERD, I think, now too.
It's not contagious.
I start doing that now too. I'm like,
Well, I don't know why you're doing that, but it's not for me. Oh, that sneeze like injured my throat.
Also,
she's fucking dying.
Oh my god!
I'm laughing because you're laughing so much.
I'm sorry, this is probably like hurting people's ears. Oh my god!
That fucked you up. Why was that so funny to you?
She's just like so stupid. It's just like you clear your throat, and I think it's contagious. It's like, no, it's not. What is it?
Oh, it's funny though.
God.
Oh my god, you're making me fucking die. Oh my god, I'm crying because of how fucking much you just laughed. It's killing me.
Oh god.
Okay, well, let's take a slight break and read some of the messages that we got.
This is gonna fucking kill me for the rest of the day. I'm gonna like be cooking dinner and just think about it and start crying.
I know.